Okay, here we are back again with Module 2, and the next section of videos here is about demographics and targeting. This is the real power of Facebook's ad platform because this is what kind of makes them unique. They have some really powerful targeting options that, very few other systems have. And let's jump into an overview of this chapter. We're going to talk about strategy overview. We're going to kind of cover that first, and then we're going to jump into physical demographics. I like to break the demographics section up into a few different layers here. And we're going to talk about the physical layer, which is like age, location, and that kind of stuff. Perspective demographics. I didn't know what else to call it, but this is, the things that kind of influence the way that the people's models of the world, the way they see the world and the way they see themselves. Okay, and then we've got likes and interests. Okay, this is really, really awesome because Facebook collects massive amounts of data on what people like, what kind of books they read, music, movies, television shows, all kinds of stuff, really cool stuff. And we can also target by connections, and you're going to see some really interesting things there. There's a targeting friends of connections option that looks like it could be really powerful, but we're still testing it out. So anyway, the idea here is to match your demographic choices, likes and interests, and all this stuff to your ideal prospect. Okay, and we're going to talk about some of the psychology behind that, and talk about some really interesting opportunities if you can get your hands on some, good data. And I'm going to show you where to get some good demographics data just by knowing what kind of keywords to search for. There's a very cool tool that kind of does a lot of the thinking for you on this. And then they want to talk about low-hanging fruit. Okay, and so a lot of pay-per-click courses have already like hammered these types of things to death. We're going to cover some of the same material here and issue a word of caution about that stuff. So then finally we're going to look at what is estimated reach and how you can take advantage of it and use it, because not many people talk about this stuff, but there's actually an optimal kind of range of of people that you want to reach in your target groups, and I'm going to show you what that is, tell you why it makes a difference, and there we go. That's the overview. So let's talk about strategy in Facebook advertising. And the first thing that I want to tell you emphatically, it is not about keywords. Write that down. It is not about keywords. What is it about? It's about affinity. What the heck does that mean? That means relevance, right? And so what your goal is to do is to create groups of targets prioritized by relevancy and budget accordingly. Now, you're probably looking at that statement and going, what the hell does that mean? He's speaking Greek. Well, here's what it might look like, okay? So if you were to create a target group of like the white hot center, the red hot center of the market, that would be like the high affinity people who because you know the market you're dealing with, that they like certain things, they like certain movies, they like certain people, they all this stuff about them down to the T, and you know that they would be highly responsive to your, not your brand, but your offer, okay? So that would be the high group there, and you would also, of course, you'd bid a little bit more for those people because they buy more. Your anticipated expectation of return on investment is going to be really high with that core group. Now you get in the picture. So with the medium and low groups, you're going to want to budget accordingly and spend less with those folks, and be more judicious about your targeting, right? And same thing with low. And then, I mean, ultimately, outside of those circles, there would be just everyone, right? Which is, you don't want to do. Okay? So I hope that makes sense. Relevancy to what? Your brand? No, your offer. Remember that. I know it's kind of like a duh kind of distinction, but it's important because it's easy to forget when you get into the mix of things. Now, before we talk about demographics in the next video, I just want to give you some tools that you can use if you don't know the demographics, some tools that you can use to find out. Okay, and I'm going to record a short video kind of covering one of these tools, the Plenty of Fish tool, because I think it's super neat. Okay. The Google Ad Planner is also very cool for a lot of reasons, but it's a worthy tool to try too. And as you know, Google has lots and lots of good data, so check it out as well. See what you like best, and then proceed. So I'm going to go shoot the Plenty of Fish video for you, and when we come back, we're going to talk about physical demographics. See you then.